Hello, ActiSage here on the Sage channel, and we're back for some more Singular Survival. And while you were all slumbering away, I've been busy, hardy, as in, while you were not watching, I have been working on a few things. And you can see I have the 4 main hydrogen thrusters, or atmospheric, thrusters, done at each of the corners, and I've added another 6 on each of the sides. Now the thing is, I actually did test it, and I found that the ship will actually work with just the, how many did we say we had? 16 atmospheric thrusters on the ship. It will actually hover, but it looked a little dinky, and I was just terrified that at any second, if we decided to add anything else to the ship, it would just drop out of the sky. So I've gone ahead and placed in points for more atmospheric thrusters. So with that out of the way, we're going to go on to what this episode is supposed to be about, which is building a rover. Because remember, a lot of people have been saying, hey Sage, you should be making a ground-based rover, a rover to go ahead and be doing your mining for you. Now, I'm not exactly sure how in the hell we're going to successfully do this, but I am going to try to get it done. First and foremost, we're going to have to set up a spot to start working on it. And I figure what we'll do is just make a makeshift working area and then have a ramp to lead it down so we can get off of there. Oh, and by the way, I have retweaked some of these landing things to have little bits of heavy armor on them because a few of them did get bent up when the ship took its little tiny hop for the first time using those atmo thrusters. In fact, you probably want to see that, so let's do another little tiny hop right now with the atmo thrusters. Let's hop into our cockpit. Through here. I'm in, thank you very much. Get into that. Awesome. You can see it's now getting the, once again, snowflakey symmetry design, almost like a CPU now. But anyway, we have that. Let's go ahead and select our atmospheric. Right. Of course, they're all color-coded, but luckily we should have a group on our hotbar. We do. Cool. So let's turn on our main maneuvering thrusters up there at the top. You can see them come on. And then let's turn on all of these atmo thrusters. Coolio. And there you go. You can see we hover a tiny little bit. Inertial dampeners on. There we go. And you can see we can hover up very, very slowly. It worked a little bit better, but not too much better before I added all the other thrusters in there, because of course now they're weighing us down. But anyway, you can see it does indeed work. So let's shut those off. Let's shut off those. There we go. Everything should go back to normal now, right? Those look like they're still spinning for some reason. They shouldn't be, though. Well, they are off because I don't see flames coming out of the bottom, even a little tiny bit of a blue. There we go, they've stopped. Cool. So yeah, that's what we've got going now. I still have a bunch of solar stuff to do. I did repair the ones down there. I've gone and done some mining and stuff, but nothing too much to report. So let's go ahead. I think our first piece that we're going to lay in is just going to be off of this. Because as I said, we're just going to build a platform to build on, but I want it high enough up so these cyber hounds won't destroy everything. It's sort of a confusing thing, is I'm not exactly sure how to deal with the cyber hounds. I'm assuming we're going to have to put turrets on it, which means one of the things we might have to go after is more magnesium over there. The idea for this ship is also, or for this mining drone thing or whatever we're building here, the wheeled miner is going to be also to have the front of it with the drills attached via a rotor, because otherwise I'm honestly not sure how the hell people think it's even going to function. Because of course it's got to aim slightly down to get itself started, and then we could aim it back up. There we go, platform all welded up. I think, what's Flying Sausage's reactors looking like right now? Still got 29. We could leave it here just for supplies for the time being, but I am going to go ahead and dock it back up top. I just don't want to risk it basically running out while we're sitting down there working on anything and suddenly it dropping. Extremely unlikely, and it's got like 2 hours of time, but you just never know. I'd prefer that it just stayed docked up here. Also, our sorting system, I've gone ahead and set that back to just be TIM controlled, because it seems like it should be a smart enough system that we should be relatively alright. So all of our refineries, there we go. Our refineries are just back on TIM is what I'm getting at. And you see some of them are building uranium and stuff, and it's apparently a smart enough system that it should be knowing what we need for here and trying to refine it. And yes, I am building warheads, or I'm building the explosive for warheads. That way in the future, when we go ahead and try to bombard the enemy base right over there from high up in the sky, we shouldn't have too much of an issue. And we could maybe leave this ugly random platform here for that and just build our explosives down here. But I was thinking maybe we build another one specifically for that. We have all this those open areas sort of here where we could be building out stuff for, well, easier to manage stuff. We need this so low to the ground, of course, because we're going to be building that rover, and I'll get to work on that right now, actually, so we'll stick this in right here. We're going to put a piston on the ship somewhere and have it reach down, pick up the rover, and lift it up, but for the time being, I think this should do. And let's go ahead and just try to plan this thing out, shall we? Alrighty, there we go. That's the base cargo level all done. Had the welding ship down here a second ago to weld it all up. I think I'm going to go ahead and start putting a few tires on already. A problem here is I can never quite remember how these are supposed to go. Are they supposed to go like this or like this? I'm assuming like this. Let's float away a little bit, see if that works. That does work. Cool. Let's see if we can make sure we do that the same way on the other side. Should be pretty simple and straightforward there. Like that. And wheel could not be placed, even though they're a mirror image of each other. And these are most definitely being placed in the same way. Hold on, let's check this again. Let's grind this out. Let's try to place that wheel again. We'll back up a little bit more. Yep, wheel cannot. Okay, yep, screw logic. There we are. Made a little bit of progress, decided to hold off on the wheels for a minute and go ahead and place in the changeover. Basically, that'll take it from our main vehicle chassis over to the drills. Now we have these small connectors here. We're going to tie a bunch of pipes in to put in our 1,000,001 drills in right here. Also, on the subject of drills, in the past I've been asking for basically different tiers of drills similar to tiers of tools, and somebody in the comments pointed out something pretty damn obvious that hadn't actually occurred to me. Upgrade modules. It's a game mechanic that the devs came up with. It's actually pretty damn cool, and we can have them in play on all of our refineries and assemblers and all of that. Well, why don't we have them for all of our welders and grinders and drills? It would be awesome if we had upgrade modules that we could install on the sides of these things or even on the back to them to build them up to build them up to be more powerful. Similar to what I actually suggested in the past for thrusters, where you basically behind the thruster you'd have an upgrade module. So you could have basically my industrial thruster, where it's this huge big long thing, or you could just place this tiny little front block of it, which would be the same size as a normal one. But to make it more powerful, you could go ahead and just continue placing more upgrade modules behind it up to a certain number, piling them on top of each other. I think that'll be fantastic for, well, everything in this game. Okay, right. That apparently weighed something. So we're going to need to get power on this before we can really set that up either. So we can have that rotor locked apparently. There we go. 2 reactors in. We just got to go ahead and get ourselves some uranium now, which would be pretty simple. I believe there should be some being refined here, but let's see if we can find an actual stockpile of it, probably in one of the ships. There we go, Murphy has some. Let's yoink some of that out of Murphy, and yeah, look at that, we just have some, that's a cargo craft reactor, so we don't have too much excess about. But anyway, we have some now, we can go ahead and plop into here. There we go. And now we should be able to tweak this rotor so, well, it's not pointing downwards like this. So let's go ahead, see if we can access this from here. Control panel, advanced rotor, how you doing? Let's go ahead and just turn up your velocity to a little tiny bit right here. And we're going to go ahead and tweak your upper and lower limits. So upper limit, let's drop that down to about, let's do 15 degrees, I think. Should be about ideal. So the drills can only ever aim 15 degrees downwards, like that. Is that good enough? Let's do 25. No, I think 15 is probably safe, okay? And then rotor displacement, no, we need other limit will be -15, so it can only ever aim that far in any direction. Maybe that's a little low. I don't know for sure. But the idea is once we get a slight gradient started, we can of course drive the vehicle into it, and then the whole vehicle will be facing it downwards. So I think for the time being, that should be ideal. Let's also go back to here, advanced rotor. Remember, we never ever want to use that safety lock. Let's up that too. Can we just disable safety lock speed? Ooh, that could be bad. We'll find out if everything blows up in the future. For now, I think that should be good. Braking force, braking strength of the rotor, how fast it will stop, applied when the rotor is turned off. Alrighty. Something we could have used in the past and then just toggled it on and off, but apparently I didn't see it. Yeah, I think we're good. Is it just me, or is the flying sausage slowly going downwards? Okay, well, we're going to go fly it back up top and dock it then, because it shouldn't be doing that. I find myself wondering, should I try to do one of those silly, like, connect another rotor out on the other side thing so it's doubly attached? I mean, that might be pretty damn cool if we could actually pull that off. And I'm thinking, first I need to see how far these rotors actually extend first. So let's go ahead, advance rotor, and we have an offset here, I believe, velocity, upper, displacement, there we go. So that displaces a fair amount. It might, I'm not sure it would be enough though to actually connect the dang thing. Yeah, I don't think it would be. Oh, and let's set that back to zip for now, because it looked like it was starting to jitter. So I think we'll just, for the time being, we'll leave it as 1. Oh man, it would look just awesome if we had another one of these here. Maybe if we could... I think merge blocks for these things are always pretty big, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Ooh, dagnabbit. Dagnabbit, dagnabbit, dagnabbit. Maybe I can fiddle with something. Let's try something, eh? All that welded up. I'm going to try to leave the ship here just for a minute. And our plan is to take this rotor here, advanced rotor, and it should be, whoa, let's rename these here. And then this one can be left, that way we can keep them apart a little bit easier. Coolio. And then let's turn you, the left one that we just put in, on. So let's add a little bit of velocity to you. And you should be hitting, where's your, there we go. Finally hit the locking point. Cool. And our idea here is that we're going to basically put merge blocks onto both these. Now, I was originally fiddling with this one's displacement, thinking maybe we can move it away and then put a actual, what do you call it? Disconnect this head here and build it on this structure here and then move it back. But this doesn't really move that much further that way, it looks like. So I don't really want to fiddle with that. What we're going to do instead is merge block fiddling and hopefully have a little bit of success with that. So we're going to put you in there. We're going to put a merge block in here, like this. That's an awful tight squeeze. Let's do it over here, actually, and just build out a little something something here. Yeah, this should maybe make it a little bit easier. Hey, Voice of Editor Sage here, and just thought I'd let you guys know the way I was doing that was completely and utterly wrong. Yeah, I didn't give it quite enough space, did I? It was all sort of squished together. You really needed arms on the rotor sticking out farther to join it, and then so I get it figured out later. I'll just skip ahead of my original flailing attempt. Oh, and by the way, I did actually try the whole rotor head thing. You cannot place the advanced rotor head for small ships, so never mind that too. Not to mention its collision volume is a like 2x3x3, so you can't even place it in a small space anyway. So select you, rotor right, coolio, and displacement other direction, please. So that's as far as I can go the other direction. Okay, so now, aha! I think we'll be alright. I think we'll actually be able to do this. So let's go ahead and rotor part. We should have just done this in the first place. I just didn't think it would work. So advanced rotor part. You... What? So we're clicking this thing here. And we're going to do a Control-C on this little grid thing right like that, yeah? And we're going to paste it right down there. And you see how that exploded? Because frack the world. But we're going to do that again. This time we're going to do it like a trillionth of a centimeter off the ground. Because frack the world. There we go. And it broke instantly anyway for no reason at all. But look at this. This is what we needed anyway. We needed this rotor headpiece. There we go. So we can go ahead. We should be able to place this right in right here. Because it should only be... No, that's a wrong piece, isn't it? This isn't the rotor part we needed. It's the other thing that exploded. Dagnabbit. Where is the rotor part? We need the rotor part. We only need the one little rotor part. If we have to fiddle around... We fiddle around. Why do you do this? Okay, fine. We're going to really go crazy now. See what we're going to do? We're flying up here into the stars. And we're going to paste it in right here up in the stars. And we're mouse scroll wheeling down so we don't fly away at Mach 3. And we're going to delete. No, shut up. Why are you spinning? Why? What kind of demonic magic controls this shit? Okay, I did a Control-Shift-C, so we only grabbed this piece. We're going to go back in the spectator in space, paste it in right here. Looks like we're free from the demonic magics that we're attempting to affect us a second ago. I can't seem to right-click and delete all this. Crap. Okay, delete it here. Go back down here because we apparently need to be near or to it, since we are in survival mode just using Space Master tools. We'll paste you on the ground, right like this. Yay, magic, joyous world. Cool, so we'll copy you. You look like a big block. You should not be such a big block. Whatever, we'll try it anyway. Can we paste this in right here like we should be able to complete this piece so we can tell it to join back up? We cannot, because the world hates us. The universe is just very, very grumpy. That is stupid. Alright, well, we could fix this by having... And just so for the record, that's now off. Lima is quite the wide wheelbase. We might actually go ahead and mount these underneath, like this pretty much. But of course, I think we'll have to mount them one more out, and then again, we're going to be running the same issue we had earlier, where I think they just weren't going to work, or were they? Because if we do it like, let's just place it at a random spot. Yeah, it still says wheel can't be placed, so no dice there. I guess they have to be these big clunky things sticking far out the sides, which means I'm going to be tempted to go ahead and do something to make them look a little bit better, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Why is that spinning? Oh, this is bullshit. Well, dag nabbit, I think it's too heavy now, so, whoops. Oh, scheisse, I don't know what to do. I don't like ground things. We'll continue working on this in the next episode. I'll probably experiment a little bit more in survival or creative mode between this episode and the next one, so I have a bit of a better idea how to fix this faux pas. Oh dear Lord God, I don't know. Anyway, guys and gals, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Scheisse.